Hello, this is a short update following my recent purchase of the GoPro Hero 10. I have been using it now for a couple of weeks and I need to correct something I said in my initial review. The battery life is actually excellent, way better than the Hero 7, which can last about half an hour, whereas the 10 I'm getting at least an hour. That's with original GoPro batteries. I'll also mention the Artman batteries which I bought. I love the little case for this. It actually has the GoPro feel to it. Soft, rubbery little case with 3 batteries inside. But you'll only get about 20 minutes out of them, if you're lucky, and that depends on what settings you have. So I'm going to show you another little gadget which I bought, so I'll bring the camera in a bit closer for that. This is a handlebar mount. Since a lot of my GoPro filming is done on my bike, I wanted something I could attach the GoPro to my handlebars with. I had one before, but I think it was aluminium and the bracket sheared, and as I had got so used to using my selfie stick, I decided not to replace it. Anyway, I wanted to try out some time warp settings, and really the only way to do that is to have the camera absolutely stationary on your handlebars while you're moving. So I got this little thing. $25, Amazon Canada. There's a nice rubber lining inside it, and if you want to use it on something other than your handlebars, you can use one or other of these 2 different sized adapters. I think the very small one, you'd be able to put that comfortably on a seat stay of a bike. To be honest, I can't see myself using that. Maybe the seat post facing backwards. Anyway, once the camera is mounted, you've got a regular GoPro style connector. So you would simply put your camera on there using one of these cases if you like. You can tighten this up firmly so you get left to right action using that ring, and forwards backwards motion using the GoPro mount. Not a bad little gadget really. I've used it and it works pretty well. Bearing in mind how fast the time warp is, any slight vibration which you do get through the rubber mount really isn't shown. Anyway, what else? Okay, so I think it's fair to do a comparison side by side of the 10 and the 7. The 10 is actually appreciably bigger, and the case I've got to mount it either to my selfie stick or to the new mount makes the camera look even larger. When you compare it with, this is an original GoPro selfie stick mount. So I'll put that in there. Look at the size difference now. So whereas the 7 is quite discreet, this one is very obvious if you're using it. Back to the batteries. Despite the relatively short life, bearing in mind you get 3 for $48, I'd probably still recommend them. You can use your original GoPro battery, and then when it runs out, pop in one of these. It'll just extend your shooting life a while. I've also got batteries made by Artman, which are for my Sony RX10 stills camera. Call it a stills camera, actually I'm shooting this video with it at the moment. And these last extremely well in that camera too. On the subject of the stills camera, I have to say I'm very disappointed in the camera shooting mode of the GoPro Hero 10. Apparently it's a 23 megapixel sensor, but I'm probably spoiled by having the rather nice Sony RX10 and a little point and shoot Sony HX99, both of which take far superior still images to the GoPro. In fact, I would go out of my way to avoid using the GoPro for still images. You really cannot zoom in at all. It might be okay for taking very large landscape shots or family groups where you're all sitting very close together. Don't expect SLR quality images. Well, that's about the size of it for today. So I now have the opportunity to take 2 GoPros with me on my bike rides. One mounted to the bike and the other on the selfie stick, which will go in my cycle jersey back pocket. And that'll give me the opportunity to take a bit more varied footage. And by the way, you can't actually get this selfie stick anymore. Blitzwolf is the make, and it's long enough to be very usable. You can even use it as a tripod in a pinch, but you'd need something to stand it on as it's not terribly high. But it's okay for standing on the ground and cycling past. Happy filming!